I want to ask one on the economy and one on the pandemic, if you don't mind.
Sure.
On the economy, in yesterday's briefing with Mr. Deese and in today's briefing, you have both cited economic metrics that showed great progress across 2021, from the unemployment rate to job creation to a rise in real household income. And when citing the progress in those areas, both you and Mr. Deese attributed that progress to specific administration policies and legislative initiatives. Yet when it came to the highest inflation in 40 years, both you and Mr. Deese attributed this to a variety of external factors, from the pandemic to supply chain constraints to inaction by the Congress on Build Back Better. So, to be clear, for the American people in this midterm year who are going to be assessing the performance of the president and his party, where specifically inflation is concerned, does the buck stop with the president?
Well, I would say, James, first, that the president has spoken to the fact that costs for Americans and the squeeze it puts on Americans is a top concern for him. And I think Brian Deese also conveyed that yesterday. And that's why he put in place a supply chain task force, why we've prioritized taking steps, including having a port czar, including ensuring there are more truckers on the roads, to ensure there are more goods moving and more goods on the shelves. And we've made a lot of progress in that regard. Of course, that's his responsibility and the responsibility of the economic team. I also think it's notable that if you go back to earlier this year, there were not the projections of the economic growth we have seen or the decrease in the unemployment rate we have seen. And that is in part, not just according to us, but many outside economists, to the bills that have passed, some of them bipartisan, and the work of this administration to get the economy up and going again and address COVID.
So your answer is yes, he owns the job creation, he owns the low unemployment rate, and he also owns inflation, correct?
I think any president should own everything happening in the country, and the president certainly sees it that way.
To the pandemic. The president's remarks this morning